All right, we are here in the R1S studios. We are bringing it to service because when we went to the Big Bear Toyo Tires Trail Pass event, it was the first time I had camped inside the R1S. And it's about 9 or 10 hours of camp mode, or was it even less than that, like eight to 10 hours of camp mode. And notice that it used up about 18% state of charge. It burned through 18% of the battery in that time. And all I had on was the HVAC system. And it was 39 degrees out. And I had it set to 73 degrees Fahrenheit. Because I wasn't like familiar with what I'm supposed to expect. So, I mean, I had plenty of battery, but yeah, it used up 18%. I made sure I turned off any outlets. I had it on a timer because I was using the outlets. And I had Gear Guard Gary enabled. No, I don't remember. I don't know. It was on camp mode, so I don't know if camp mode enables Gear Guard Gary, but it shouldn't take up that much. Now, there were other Rivian vehicles there, and Gen 1s, R1T, and they didn't lose much, and they were using the hose to their tent and using the HVAC system, and I think they only burned through about 8 to 10%. So one of you guys commented and said maybe it's just the larger size cabin, which yeah, makes sense because it's an R1S versus an R1T or a tent, but it's still a considerable amount. So I just wanted to have them check. I did submit a ticket right after the event and gave them some numbers, gave them some timestamp, and I thought they were just gonna look through the logs, but they're like, go ahead and bring it in so we could do further diagnostics. So the Gen 2, as a reminder, does have a heat pump, and it's supposed to, the job that a heat pump does is make the vehicle more efficient during cold temperatures. And 39 degrees Fahrenheit is fairly cold. So we're gonna go see what they're gonna say. We're gonna drop it off. We're also going to have them take a look at the floor mats because the floor mats are really bugging me. I mean, it's fine, but it bugs me that it's not lining up. I need to get to the bottom of it. So maybe have service take a double look, you know, and if they have a Gen 1 R1S and see if they could fit it there and see if it does fit better there, then I don't know, because the store support, Rivian store, said it's within spec. The fit, you know, that's what the email said. It fits like within spec, even though it's not lining up. That, and we're gonna have them take a look at the crossbars just to double check, because it's just difficult for it to lock. I mean, it does lock, but it's a little difficult. One of them, what happens here on the this rear one, the rear driver's side, actually it doesn't matter which side it is because you could flip-flop them, but anyway, this particular side, when you lift this up, there's a key here. If we turn it and unlock it and lift this up, it unhooks on the from the mount. Now when we push it down, push it back down, it has a primary lock, I guess, when you push it down. Now you can lock it, and you're supposed to be able to push this all the way in. See, as you can see, it's pushed all the way in right now. But the issue that this one is having is if I do all that unlocking and locking it back in place, this actually pops up like this. It does that. I can't push it all the way in unless I push down, and as I'm pushing down, push this in. So if I don't push this all the way in, it does lock, but when I wiggle it, it actually loosens. It doesn't unlock, it just loosens. So that could be an issue. It may just need to be tightened or loosened underneath here. But I'm just gonna have them take a look. I have it currently locked in place right now. I mean, but it does take extra effort. And then finally, hopefully we can get them to take a look at the plug in the center console, where the Gear Guard hard drive is plugged into. There's another USB-C port there. And whenever I plug in my laptop, the Gear Guard hard drive unplugs, replugs, unplugs, replugs. So I just want to know if that is a, like, is that behavior expected? Because maybe the laptop is pulling too much energy and these are not PD or power delivery plugs, that, you know, I don't know. We'll see. All right, right now what's happening is I have the laptop plugged in my MacBook Pro, and I don't know if you noticed it's switching from the camera having a slash through it, and now it's gone. And what it does is it connects and reconnects when I have the laptop plugged in. And why is it not doing it now? But let's see if I can replug the laptop in and try to replicate it. Okay. Wow, it's behaving fine, I guess, but I just want them to take a look. And inside here, see, this left one is where my hard drive is for the Gear Guard hard drive. And then this right one is my USB cable where I normally plug either cell phones, or right now we have the laptop plugged in. Yeah, so we're gonna have them take a look at that. So I don't know if I'm able to add more stuff to the ticket, but we're gonna try. And yeah, so let's see what happens. All right, we are here in Rivian Eastvale. We're gonna check in and let's see what happens. All right, we are in an R1S Studios Gen 1. I think it's a quad with all-terrain tires. They gave me a loaner, so thank you very much. Jimmy helped me out, so shout out to you, Jimmy. Thank you. He was able to add the other concerns that I had. Just really curious about what they see. I just want an extra eye or extra eyes on it. Just if that's how it works, great. It's on the records that, you know, I had it checked out, and if anything happens later down the line, at least there's a record of them taking a look at it. But yeah, I'm happy that they're able to get me a Rivian loaner. They don't have many in their fleet, and hopefully that changes with all the trade-ins that's been happening. But yeah, hopefully they can grow that fleet so that all Rivian customers can get a Rivian vehicle as a loaner instead of going with a third party. Forgot a few more things. So this is a quad motor, and at 100% state of charge, they gave it to me at 100%. Thank you. 304 miles of range on conserve mode, and if we do all purpose, it drops to about 200. Whoa, 275, 273, 273 miles. Wow, how many miles does this thing have? So this thing has on the odometer 23,706 miles. So I don't recall it being that low, although this is a Gen 1, and being that it's a Gen 1, and I looked at the sticker, it's August 2023 build. The sound system is, man, it reminds me of my Gen 1 R1T. What happened, Rivian, with the Gen 2, man? Oh gosh, it's, whew, yeah, I like it better than the Gen 2. So hopefully in future updates they are gonna make those changes. But okay, now we can get going. All right, so not even a few minutes in the R1S, I gotta hop on again because another impression. These all-terrain tires are loud. I think these are louder than the Cybertruck Falcon tires. Wow. Let me see if you can hear it. Can you hear it? I'm doing about 50 miles an hour, so it's it's pretty loud. I'm gonna have to look into this more. But these are the Pirellis that Rivian comes with, the all-terrain ones. So let me know if you have the Pirelli Rivian all-terrain tires, if they're considerably loud. Otherwise, I might have to look for different tires when I do a all-terrain setup for my R1S. I just wanted to show you we have 3.08 miles per kilowatt hour. The front motor was like 180 something degrees because running on conserve mode. It was pretty hot, but then it cooled it down really quickly. Now we're at 125, 129. So yeah, the cooling on this thing is a lot better, it seems like, but then it does get hot. I haven't seen those temps in my Gen 2, at least the front motors. Now this is a quad motor and not a dual motor, so maybe there's some different cooling systems going on. It could also mean that because there's 4 motors that it doesn't, I don't know, maybe it's more efficient than the dual motor. But yeah, dude, look at it's clean. It smells good in here too. So thank you Rivian Easevale, giving me a clean loaner. I also didn't forget to bring my adapters with me, so just in case I need to charge at Tesla. But for sure I'm going to need that if I need to charge at home, because I have a Tesla wall connector. That is the NAX to J1772 adapter. 112.7 miles driven, 2.58 miles per kilowatt hour, and 44 kilowatt hours of energy used. This is a little lower than what I normally drive because our starting point was not at my house, but yeah. This couple hours or few hours with the Gen 1 quad motor, not my first time, but man, this car is still fun. I put it on sport mode. Oop. And quad motor. Even the Gen 1. Whoo, man, what can I say? Wow. I'm gonna give my first like early impressions, but again, this is not my first time. I think if you can find a used Gen 1 quad, R1T or R1S, with low miles, and like all the recalls and campaigns have been taken care of, my goodness, it might be a good deal. Might be a really good deal. So keep your eyes open on that if you are curious about a Rivian, never had one, or want to get a quad. I think in the used market, it might be a good deal. And I'll tell you this though, the value is holding up for Rivian, unlike Tesla. But yeah, this car is fun. Okay, so it's been a couple of days and we are here with the loaner in San Bernardino Rivian Adventure Network. We're going to be supercharging. We're going to check things out. And yeah, currently we are at 88 degrees Fahrenheit for the battery temps. And we are at 52 miles or 17% state of charge. Now this is a Gen 1. So my expectation is this thing should charge very high and drop lower as it gets higher on the state of charge, but will probably hold a higher speed compared to my Gen 2, but I think it's still going to take same amount of time, being that this has a larger battery versus my Gen 2 with a smaller battery. So we're going to go ahead and plug in. Someone left the charging cable on the floor. Maybe it fell, who knows, or someone who's disgruntled and was like, why is it only Rivian only? Because I've talked to people here thinking that they could charge here, but this should be included because this is a Rivian loaner. Hopefully, I hope I don't get a bill like I did last time with the Enterprise Tesla. Charging is beginning, so we'll wait for it to ramp up a little bit. 17% state of charge. We are at 150, climbing up. This should go up to about 215, hopefully, or it'll float around 200. 197 kilowatt. So yeah, that's usually what it'll do, is it'll float around 200-ish. And then ramp up to about 215. I can't remember if my Gen 1 actually hit the full 220, because that's where it caps. That's the fastest it'll go But I know I've hit 215 plenty of times in my Gen 1. I think I've done 218 in the Gen 2. I can't remember. All right, so I got my partner in crime, Erwin, right here. We're having breakfast. This is the same thing we did in the Model 3 video many years ago, where I rescued him because he has a Subaru Crosstrek. He currently has a Subaru Crosstrek. It's in service, 88,000 mile service. 84,000 miles. And they're like suggesting him to do the 90,000. Of course, more money. But he's interested in getting a, what was it?
2025 Forester.
He wants Forrest Whitaker.
He's good too.
And so I've mentioned to him to look into an EV, but I'm not gonna, you know, I don't push people to EVs. It just takes a certain kind of adjustments, and I don't know if he's ready for that. But at 45,000, the Forester, he could be looking at a Model Y. He doesn't really off-road, but I'm like, Model Y could be a thing. R2 next year may be a good thing. Who knows? But yeah, we're just hanging out because he's stuck at the dealership, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna be going to the charging station, and I'll pick you up. We'll get some coffee, breakfast. You can hang out and charge while his car is being serviced. All right, we are at 36% state of charge at 193 kilowatt in speed. In my Gen 2 at this point, we are probably floating around 150s. It did reach 215. I just didn't get it on camera, but yeah, I hit 215. Okay, we're gonna be unplugging soon. We are at 75% state of charge, 73 kilowatt in speed, and that's pretty much the same as the Gen 2 speeds. Right when it hits 80%, it's gonna really drop to about 50 to 60 kilowatts in speed. But we're gonna be unplugging soon. So hopefully this is a free charge. Otherwise, we're looking at like $50 for charging. And I think we put in like over 80 kilowatt of energy in here because we were pretty low in state of charge. But before we go, I want to give a shout out to the people who have used my Rivian referral. This is the latest that I picked up from your points. I got a fanny pack. Oh, dude. I've always wanted this, and I like the color combination of the fanny pack. Yeah, Halloween season is upon us, so I had to get the Gear Guard Gary vampire costume one. I already have the OG original Gear Guard Gary, so I had to get this one. And of course, I gotta get the socks, Gear Guard Gary socks. So yes, thank you. Thank you very much, everyone who's used my Rivian referral. There's gonna be other things I'm gonna be getting. But yeah, so far I got this stuff. I got the Kamek awning, and I got the crossbars. Oh, thank you. I can't thank you all enough. Thank you very much. Thank you. And I hope you're enjoying your Rivian. Chime in if you've gotten one, and let me know how it's been going. All right, currently 49 kilowatt in speed, 78% state of charge. We've been charging for 35 minutes. So hopefully Erwin's getting an idea on how it is to charge. It's not as boring if you have something to do. We are at Inland Center Mall, so you can actually go and shop if you want. But but these are larger batteries, so you are here for longer period, and we were down at 17% state of charge, so we were pretty low. So let's go ahead and unplug, and we're gonna get going. All right, so we were in the area of the Rivian service center, and worked out well because I got a notification that the vehicle is ready to go. So we are here at Eastvale picking up the car. But before we do, here is the trip data. 617 miles driven. I had it for about 6 days. 2.58 miles per kilowatt hour. We've been driving on conserve mode. I hope we get this in the dual motors because I like conserve mode, where it forces the front wheels to be the front motor to be the primary primary motor. So you don't get that weird jolt when you accelerate. It only uses the front motor. There are rumors of it coming soon to dual motors in a software update, so can't wait. Okay, so let's go over the invoice. I got it on my phone here. The first concern that was addressed was, why was there a high power consumption using camp mode? And basically they said, based on information and screenshots that I provided, vehicle was in camp mode with stay on selected, which intentionally keeps the car awake in ready power mode and prevents sleep. Combined with cold ambient temperatures, HVAC ran continuous to maintain warm set point, with most consumption going to heating and the baseline overhead of staying awake. Factors can push higher include colder weather, a larger cabin ambient temperature, wind or drafts from cracked windows. So basically, I'll leave it up on the screen, but you could read it. And yeah, it's as expected. It's functioning normally. But again, it's just weird that I thought it would consume either this as much or better than Gen 1 with the people that was there with me. You know, I don't know. But yeah, it is a larger cabin. And I did have the outlets turned on, but it did turn off like 30 minutes after I turned into bed. So, but yeah, so that's what I wanted to know. They ran the test. They didn't find any vampire or weird, you know, vampire drain or anything weird like that. So that's what I wanted, and I wanted it in records. But it took them an hour and a half to diagnose it and test, and it could have been $352, but they just went through it as a warranty diagnostic thing. So thank you, Rivian, for doing that. I am just really curious, and I appreciate that you guys checked it out and did not charge me. So thank you. The next concern that I had added was the USB-C in the center console. But pretty much they said that the USB-C ports are intended to be for phones and tablets, not really laptops. So the PD or power delivery profile is not high enough to, I guess, support a laptop, and also the hard drive that's plugged in, because you do need to use energy to power on that hard drive, and it continuously records onto that hard drive. So it probably just draws too much power to support both devices. So it's flip-flopping between the two. I have noticed it when I'm using the laptop often, and it often unplugs the hard drive. But if I'm just charging off of it, it's not as much, although it does still disconnect the hard drive, but not as frequent as if I was using the laptop. But if I'm just having the laptop sit there and it's charging, it's a little bit more stable. But now that I know, they suggested to use the outlet, which is, there's one underneath the rear screen, second row screen. There's an outlet there if I want to charge the laptop. So it functions as intended or as expected. And then finally, I wanted another pair of eyes to check the floor mats. And basically, they said unable to duplicate customers' concern with the floor mat fitment. They are all secure, so the fitment is within spec. But yeah, I don't like the fitment. So again, if you have a Gen 2 and you got the Rivian all-weather floor mats, I do want to hear from you in the comments below. Let me know how your fitment is. But I've already gotten different floor mats. If you haven't seen that video, please go check it out. It's from 3W and they fit much better. I kind of like it better than the Rivian one. I just want to give some final thoughts on the Gen 1 R1S loaner that I got. I really feel or hear that the audio system, the sound system in that Gen 1 is much better. I actually don't have to turn it up as loud. I'm usually around volume 13. That may be a little high for some of you guys, but I love music. I love music, especially when I'm driving. That's just, it's very important to me. And in previous cars, I've always gotten aftermarket speakers and amplifiers and all that in my previous cars. But yeah, it's very important. So that's why I mention it from time to time that I wish Rivian had a better sound system. But volume is set to 13 on the Gen 1 R1S versus here in the Gen 2, I'm usually at 17 and sometimes I'll even go higher. Yes, I like my music loud. That's just, you know, it's my escape when I'm stuck in LA traffic, and I just enjoy driving. And that's one of the things that accompany me when I'm driving. That's why I don't use FSD as much before, because I just love driving. I love being connected to the car and just driving. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, music is very important. Man, Rivian, and I've gotten the update that's supposed to have improved premium audio and added those additional custom profiles. I just I hear a little difference, very little, but man, it could use a little bit more improvement. Yeah, but other than that, the Gen 1, if you can find a good deal on that and you know what you're getting into, because there are some things that the Gen 2 does have, and if you could find a Gen 1, a used Gen 1 and a good price, I still think it's a really good buy, especially if you're looking into the quad. You don't get the kick turn, but if you're looking at the higher trim Gen 1s, I think they have a pretty good value in them. If you could find one used, low mileage, with all the recalls and repairs that have been already done. But Rivian does support those recalls, and you know, they'll straighten it out if you do have those issues. But you could check the NHTSA website if you have a VIN handy, if you're looking into one, or if you have one, you could actually go into the NHTSA website, plug in your VIN, and it'll show you any pending recalls, as well as there is a Rivian recall like web page. I'll put that link in the video description if you are curious. They have all of the official recalls that they have shared to the public. But that's it for this video. Again, shout out to Jimmy. Jimmy, thank you very much for taking care of me within spec. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, please like. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And if you are in the market for a Rivian, do consider using my Rivian referral code, which I have in the video description below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.